Looking at Magikarp versus Gyarados, it's very obvious just based on how they look that Gyarados is stronger than Magikarp. But why is Gyarados stronger? Because it has much higher stats than Magikarp. Hey, what's going on, Danimals? Welcome back to another DanSquared Dojo Pokemon Scarlet and Violet video. Today we're going to discuss one of the core elements of Pokemon battling, and that is a Pokemon stats. Each Pokemon has 6 stats: HP, Attack, Defense, Special Attack, Special Defense, and Speed. In this video, we're going to discuss what each of these stats do, and how we can use this info to choose the best moves possible for our Pokemon. Now let's discuss each of the 6 stats. HP is the most visible and straightforward of the stats. It determines the exact number of damage that your Pokemon can take until it gets knocked out. The HP value in the graph view is the exact max HP of your Pokemon. The attack stat determines how much damage that physical moves do. The higher the attack stat, the more damage that physical moves do. Next we have the defense stat, which is the inverse of the attack stat. The defense stat determines how much damage a Pokemon takes from physical attacks. The higher a Pokemon's defense stat, the less damage that they will take from their opposing Pokemon's physical attacks. The special attack stat determines how much damage a Pokemon will do with special moves. The higher a Pokemon's special attack, the more damage it will do with special moves like Hyper Beam or Psychic or Dazzling Gleam. Special defense is the inverse of special attack. Special defense determines how much damage a Pokemon will take from an opposing Pokemon's special move. The higher the special defense of the Pokemon, the less damage it's going to take from those opposing Pokemon's special moves. The speed stat determines the order in which Pokemon perform their moves in battle. In general, a Pokemon with a higher speed performs its moves before a Pokemon with a lower speed. There are exceptions to this rule, including Trick Room and priority moves. We're going to cover those in a later video. We can use this knowledge as stats to allow us to optimize the moves of our Pokemon. Let's look at Waterfall. It's a physical water type move with a base power of 80. Let's compare it to Hydro Pump, which is a special water type move with a base power of 110. Hydro Pump may have a higher base power than Waterfall, but our Gyarados is going to do a lot more damage with Waterfall than Hydro Pump. Hydro Pump is going to be using Gyarados' special attack, which is 113, while Waterfall is going to be using Gyarados' attack stat, which is 383. The attack stat being so much higher than the special attack stat means that Waterfall is going to do a significant amount more damage. This means that we should keep Waterfall in our Gyarados, but replace Hydro Pump with a different physical attacking move to give additional coverage. Here's a great rule for you to follow if you're a newer Pokemon trainer. If your Pokemon has a higher attack stat, you should only teach it physical attacking moves. But if your Pokemon has a higher special attack stat, you should only have it use special moves. As with all the rules in this series, there are always going to be exceptions, and we'll talk about those in future videos. We've covered a lot of valuable information, so let's review. Each Pokemon has 6 base stats. In general, if your Pokemon has a higher attack stat, teach your Pokemon physical moves. But if your Pokemon has a higher special attack stat, teach that Pokemon special moves. This will allow your Pokemon to maximize its damage output. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions on this topic, anything to add on this topic, or you just want to further discuss Pokemon stats. Now that we know what Pokemon stats are, in the next video we're going to go over how they are determined. And remember, episodes of the DanSquared Dojo Pokemon Scarlet and Violet will be dropping every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Any and all feedback on the DanSquared Dojo Pokemon Scarlet and Violet series is greatly appreciated. Thanks for watching, and make sure to use Waterfall and that subscribe button for more DanSquared.